Hi friends, it's Victor. Welcome and thank you so much for buying your art kit. I appreciate the support. I am super grateful and super blessed that we get to paint together virtually. I'm excited. Again, welcome. If this is your first time painting, don't be afraid. It's your time to shine at home. Just have fun. Have fun. There's no rules. You get to do it your way. So in your kit, you're gonna find a variety of brushes. You're gonna find a palette knife, a Sharpie, paper towels, and a plastic cup. And most importantly, your pre-sketched canvas. I've done all the work for you. So all you're gonna have to do is grab your Sharpie and trace your image. And also I have provided a color copy of your image that were like a reference that's gonna be helping you kind of guide you throughout the process. Again, I'm super excited. I can't wait to see your masterpiece. Please tag me on Instagram. Let's do this. So our first step is gonna be, we're gonna be tracing. So you're gonna have to trace everything in your image. Again, this is your painting, so trace it however you like. You could do it slowly, you could do it more cautious. I always like to do this super fast, but again, and that is it. This is going to be for my background. I'm going to be scooping a little bit of blue and paint my brush, and then I'm going to scoop a little bit of white. I'm going to mix those colors. And that is going to be my background. These two colors. With my big brush, I'm going to be adding a little bit of white towards like the bottom, like this area and this area, just around it. And for the background, I'm going to work fast, so make sure to add a little bit of plain white. So I'm going to dip it just straight from the color. And canvas, you could kind of hold it however you want to, like this, put it on the table, on the surface, wherever's comfortable for you. Since I'm showing you guys, I'm going to use my easel. So I'm adding the white just to go around like this. And since this color is a little bit of cream, I'm gonna add a little bit of this color. So I'm gonna dip it, which is like a mustard brown. I'm gonna dip it with the smaller brush and just add a little bit of here and a little bit of here, just like that. Same dirty brush. We're just gonna blend those two together. And look how awesome it's blending those two colors. Don't worry about being too careful on the fur. So just, it's Sharpie, so you can still see the line. It should be okay. Look how beautiful that looks. Awesome. Now with the color that you just made, we're gonna add some of that blue. And again, you don't have to be super careful with the fur or the horn. That's the purpose of the Sharpie, that it kinda, you can still see those lines. So with the same brush, do this. When you're getting closer to like the brownish, just don't put too much pressure. And again, you want to see that brush work, so it's okay if you see the brush work. Now I'm gonna try to add more white in certain areas. So with the clean brush, I'm just gonna put it here. And I just wanted more white. Look how beautiful that looks. And that's gonna be your background. So you're gonna do that same technique all around. I'm gonna work a little bit faster now. I also do recommend, if you wanna hang this in your house, which I know you will, paint the borders. So it just makes it like a nice, nice touch when it's hanging. And if you run out of your handy dandy color, you're just gonna have to make more. This area, I'm gonna grab my clean brush and add it more on the white. I'm just gonna add some there. And then with my same brush, again, if too many brushes is confusing you, you grab whatever brush is easier for you. The only reason I'm changing brushes in between is just so I don't get color in here. But if you want to be washing them in between, you're more than welcome to be washing them. And that just helps with the cleanliness of the colors. I'm really liking this blue. And then we need to get a little bit of that cream color, which I'm going back to my brush, going back to this one. And then I'm just gonna add it wherever I see cream or brown or mustard brown, whatever you want to call it. I'm very messy when I paint, so just kind of ignore my workspace. Again, you want to see the brush stroke. You want to make sure that people could tell that it was a painting, you know? Beautiful. I want to add a little bit of white over here, so I'm going to dip it. Awesome. That is my background. And I am going to add the That is it. Now we put our brushes in here to clean them. And then with your paper towel, now they're clean. Next up is we're gonna be working on our Santa hat. For our Santa hat, we're gonna need red, and we're gonna need white, and we're gonna need a little bit of black. And we're gonna be using this small brush, and this flat brush, and this round brush. Let's do this. So let's work on the top of the hat. So I'm gonna grab my color red, this one straight from my palette, and I'm just gonna start painting. Red is sometimes hard to get it really like bright, so you might have to use let it dry or use a hair blower to or hair dryer. I almost said leaf blower. To speed up the process, and I'll show you what I use. So my first step is one layer. And we're gonna do another layer, just because I want it to be super bright. If you like how that red looks, you can leave it exactly like that, but I want mine to be super bright. There you go. So I'm gonna try to create a shadow on this part of the hat. And while the paint is fresh, I'm gonna dip it straight from my little handy dandy container. Again, you don't have to, but if you want to challenge yourself, do it. So I'm just a tiny bit, and this doesn't have to be perfect, and you're just gonna follow like this inside line, like this and like this, and that's just gonna create shadows. The way we're gonna create those shadows and trick the eye is we're gonna tap 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 as the paint's still dry. So dry, and you're gonna tap tap tap, and then tap 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 tap. Now here comes the trick. You're gonna grab your paper towel, and you're gonna clean your brush, and you're gonna bring some of this red paint towards the black. That way it's not so dark. You're gonna clean it again and bring some of that red back to, and you're just tapping, tapping, tapping. Look how beautiful that looks. With that same black, I'm not gonna dip it more, but with the same color, I'm gonna bring some of this black towards this part of the little, I don't know, the little white ball that's on the hat. And I'm also gonna add a little bit of Same black from here, over here, a little bit down here. That looks beautiful. Now we are going to dip it again, clean it. And we are going to dry your brush. And we're gonna dip it to your white. We're gonna add a little bit of shadows. Your paint's still a little bit dry. I mean wet, sorry. Still a little bit wet. We're gonna try to give it of some shadow, some highlights on this part of the hat. So you're gonna do this, brush it on that side of the hat. And guess what? We're gonna wash our brush again. And we're gonna dry it. And we're gonna do the same technique where we're gonna tap, tap, tap to get some of that lights and some white into the other part of the hat. And that's it. Now if you want to take this part of the white a little bit down over here, you can, which I'm gonna take a little bit down over here at the bottom. But if not, you're totally fine. It looks great. We're gonna be working on this white ball and also this part of the Santa hat. Again, wash your brush and dry your brush. And we're gonna go straight from the actual container. And you're just going to fill that in white. Now, since this is white, obviously you're not gonna leave it white. We are going to add a little bit of blue just to give it some shadows because you don't want it to be like too plain. I got a little bit of red on mine. It's okay. If you got color on yours, let it dry and then you could come back and paint it over, and then do a little ball. And when you're covering these line work, like the Sharpie lines, I suggest you try to get as close as you can to the Sharpie. That way you don't have like a big old Sharpie line at the end, unless you're gonna want to outline it. Beautiful. And to get some of the shadows in here, we're gonna add a little bit of blue. So you're back here with this blue and you're gonna clean your brush. So clean it. We're gonna add just a little bit of blue on that part. So with this same blue, not a lot, I put a little here, but I'm gonna use it here to kind of take away some of that blue. And we're just gonna tap, tap, tap. And you're just gonna try to guide wherever there is shadows in there. And we're gonna got it on my hand. I'm gonna dry it. And I'm gonna go back to my mustard color, and I'm just gonna add a tiny bit, very little, in this area. And again, I'm just trying to create some shadows. And then some on this area. and some on this area. Clean your brush again. And then I'm gonna go back to my white. And we're just gonna tap, 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 tap on that area. Tap, 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 tap. And that is it. That is your Santa hat. Clean your brush. So going back in here, and we're gonna clean the horn. We're gonna paint, not clean. For that, I'm gonna go back to my square brush. I'm gonna put this brush down, and I forgot to clean my brush, so I'm gonna clean it. And it's this brush that it's squared. I'm drying it. The way we're gonna paint this is you're gonna have a brown color on your palette, which is this color. And you're just gonna do a brown line all the way to the top. And then you're gonna grab this other reddish brown. You're gonna use your brush that you just put down, and you're gonna follow that same line, not on top of it but next to it, and you're just gonna paint it all the way up, and then the rest is gonna be white. And all we're gonna do is just mix those colors together by tapping on them to mix them together. Kinda, it needs to look faded, it needs to look like from light to darkest. Okay, the lightest color is gonna be on the side, on the inside, so try to use your image to guide you. So let's do this. Again, if this is too big, feel free to do this brush the whole process. Just keep washing your brush. Just use one brush actually. That way I don't confuse you. So we're gonna start with our darkest color. To the top. Clean it, and then your reddish color, like that. Now clean this brush, clean it good, and then we're going back to our white. For this part, you can move your canvas to the side, whatever is easier for you. I'm just moving it to the side because the way that I'm looking at it, but your lightest color should be, your highlight should be on that side of the horn. Once you do your white, make sure to get a nice clean crispy line on the inside. Clean your brush, and you're just gonna try to fade all colors together now from the tip. And you don't have to keep going back and forth. If one and clean as you're going, so I like to clean my brush as I'm going. If you feel like one little brush stroke does it for you to give you a nice color, leave it as that. The technique that I'm doing here, I'm just like scraping off the paint side to side, bringing the darks inside to the red brown, and then putting it close to the white. And that's it. That is my horn. Now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. You are going to grab your brown, and then you'll clean it. You get your red brown and do another layer of that. And you clean it. And you go back to your white. I made a mistake. I did too close. I dipped it on the brown first. I forgot to do my highlight. So you bring your highlight down. And then you mix all those colors together. And again, don't put too much pressure when you're blending colors. As you're scraping or pushing the paint up and down, kind of do like a very gentle movement of your wrist and your hand. And I like to hold my brush like if I'm holding a pencil. I hope you guys are doing great so far. I'm very happy with my painting. Hope you are too. You just have to trust the process. Next up is we're gonna be working on the head of the cow, and then we'll move towards the bottom. So we're gonna be working with the darker colors. For this part, I like my flat brush. So I'm gonna grab your flat brush, make sure it's clean, and we're going to mix a nice brown. So grab your mixing tray and your palette knife, make sure it's clean. And I'm gonna scoop some brown here. And I'm gonna make a lot because I have a lot of dark brown. And so scoop it in there, clean your palette. I'm gonna grab a very tiny amount of black. Black is very concentrated, so I'm only getting a little. I'm putting those two together. Well, not yet, but like I'm putting them on the same little hole. Clean your brush. And I'm gonna add a little bit of this mustard brown, like this much. And we're just gonna mix those three colors together. And that is gonna give you a nice chocolate brown. Again, the colors that I used was a dark chocolate brown, that yellowy mustard, and very, very, very tiny white. Look how yummy this chocolate looks. Okay, let's clean our palette knife. Now for this, I'm gonna be working on my darker parts of the painting. So I'm grabbing my brush, and I'm not adding a lot of brush. I mean, not a lot of brush, a lot of paint. I'm adding very little. And I'm gonna be working on my hair. And don't try to stay inside of the lines, try to cover those lines. I'm gonna do the entire ear here with that dark brown. And I'm also gonna do all of this part under the hat because the hat is creating shadow. But I'm only bringing the dark brown on the bottom part where the hair falls. So I'm gonna start it here and bring it on the bottom part of the hair. I'm gonna start here and bring it only bottom part of the hair. Start here, bring it only on the bottom part where the hair falls. Start there and then bring it down bottom part. Now this side is gonna be the opposite side because the hair is falling on the opposite side. So you're gonna bring it opposite side where the hair falls, opposite side where the hair falls. And I'm just gonna, there's no hair there, but I'm just gonna fill in the whole spot. And then opposite part where the hair falls, opposite part where the hair falls. And again, I'm gonna do the same thing with my other ear, is I'm gonna fill it in. All the same color. Again, if the square brush is too hard for you, change it to a smaller brush. I like using this brush just because it works well for me, but if it's too complicated for you, I would recommend maybe doing this brush. And it gets a little tricky like in the little area, so beautiful. So that looks good. I'm gonna work in sections, that way I don't confuse you. So I'm gonna dry that a little bit. And I'm gonna do another layer, but for this part, I'm gonna let you choose where you wanna do the darker spots. If you wanna do the same areas that you painted, you're more than welcome to do that. I'm only gonna pick certain areas of the cow. This is just to make the fur a little bit darker. But I'm gonna pick the ear towards the left, a little bit more darker. And I'm gonna pick this first. Here. I'll do the second one as well. I'll do this one right here. I'll do this one right here. Again, these are all layers. It's hair, so don't feel like it has to be perfect. This area under the hat, it's supposed to be the cow's ear, so you could even do that darker. At the end, if you still feel like it's not dark enough, you could come back and add more brown with more black. Awesome. We're not gonna dry it now. We're gonna go straight to the next color. I am cleaning my brush with my horchata looking water now. And then we're gonna be working with our next tone. I am gonna be using this dark brown. I'm gonna mix it. So grab your, whoops. I just dropped my paint. So palette knife, I'm gonna scoop a little bit of that brown here and clean it up. And I'm gonna mix it with this yellow mustard. Clean it up. And we're gonna add some white. And you're just gonna mix those three colors together now. Look how beautiful that looks. I love mixing paint. Again, if your color does not look like mine, don't get disappointed like it's a cow. all cows have different colors, so don't be upset. Okay, for this, I'm going back to my flat brush. And for this area, you're gonna paint wherever there's no paint from the hair of the cow. Top part, we're still working on the top part. And you're just coloring the areas that you did not paint. If the paint's still wet, it's okay. It'll give it a beautiful effect just because you're blending those two colors together, and it's gonna look very nice. Look how beautiful that looks already. And for the ears, I'm just gonna, since you already covered it, you're gonna do some highlights. I'm gonna do one right here, and then I'm gonna pick like the middle one, so you could do like a wavy one, and then maybe do another one in that area right there, and do the same over here. That looks great. We're gonna come back still and do more highlights, but for now, that does it. For this part of the cow, we are going to, oh, I was looking for my water. So clean this. We're gonna do our brown. Clean your brush, try it. So go back to your dark brown, and you are going to be painting the other spots. Again, you're painting the bottom. On this part, there's not much line work, so you're just gonna have to kind of follow this other little line that you created there to guide you. Now, if you need to take a break, feel free to take a break. This part, I'm gonna leave it till later, the little triangle there. So, let that dry, or use your hair dryer. Dry your brush, and it's time to make some highlights. We're going back to the other brown that we created, and our highlights are gonna be a little bit different this time. Try not to bring them all the way to the top. Try, like, I would say right where the hair ends. Try to make that the area where your highlights are gonna start. And you're just making line work, kind of like bringing it down to make it look like it's hair. And this side, you're gonna make it come down and curve it around and then whoosh, down. Now this side is gonna be the opposite. It's gonna curve down and then fall down. And then you're gonna do the same to these. And then you're gonna do the same to these. Beautiful. How are you guys doing? Good so far? I hope you guys are doing good. So now we're gonna be working on this part of the cow. Make sure to clean your brush. And for that area, I am going to use my round brush, which is this one. For this one, it's gonna be a lot of white, so start off with your brush straight from the white, and you're just gonna fill in the entire part white. Not the nostril, but the entire mouth white. Beautiful. You're gonna go back to your pre-mixed colors, and for this part we're gonna add the bottom part a little bit of this light brown. I didn't clean my brush, and I just want you to add some of that brown towards the bottom. Just to give it some brown down here. Then bring it up. Bring it up. You could add a little bit of more brown if you like. And again, this is depending on how dark you want it. Okay. I'm debating where to clean this brush. My paper towels are so dirty now. And then I'm gonna grab a little bit of the darker brown, and you're just gonna add some of that dark brown towards the edges. And then you're gonna do the same. On this part. Beautiful. Don't clean your brush. We're going straight. Actually, yes, clean your brush because you're dipping it on your red, and I would hate for you to mess up your red. And we're just gonna scoop a little bit of that red in here, just because I don't want to ruin all my red. Scoop a little bit of red. Do it right there. And we're gonna, you don't need a lot of red. You're trying to create some pink. And I think I added too much. Very little red, okay? That way you don't make the snout too pink. And as you're applying the paint here, don't put pressure. Just gently tap the paint on the canvas, like very gently, very gently. You're holding the brush like a pencil. I'm gonna add a little bit more red. Beautiful. Looks great. For your nostrils, you're gonna fill them in all black, but for that, I'm gonna make you grab your small brush just because it's a little scary. Not getting out the lines. And for this part, try not to get out of the lines. So you're gonna fill it in all black. And if it's easier, rotate your canvas. That looks amazing. And we're gonna dry that. And we are going to make some shadows inside those nostrils. So clean your tiny brush and dip it in your white. Grab a little bit of white like this. Now you're gonna put it on this other color or this other hole. You're gonna grab some red, mix those two colors together, and you'll make like a nice little pinkish color. And you're gonna dip a little bit of that brown into that color. Probably needs more, it's not dark enough. And my color is like this. And all you're doing is you're gonna go on the outer part of the nostril and you're gonna make a line starting from the top, and it's gonna end around this part of the nostril, and you're gonna do the same on the opposite side. You're gonna start on this side and it's gonna end around this side. Once you do those lines, you're gonna clean your brush and then tap, tap, tap to kind of fade it inside. So do the line like that, and then do the line like that. Now clean your brush. And remember, you're just gonna tap, tap, tap inside the black. And this should look kind of faded. And it's just to kind of give it dimension or depth inside that nostril. So it looks like it's lighter on the outside and it goes way darker inside. If your paint dried, I think mine dried, just dip it on plain water and come back and do that tap, tap, tap inside. And if for whatever reason yours looks too light, if you accidentally added too much, go back to the black and put one more little layer, clean your brush, and then tap, tap, tap to the outside. That looks amazing. Now that I have my same little brush, I'm gonna work on this part of the cow. Grab your dark brown, and for this part, we're just gonna do little tiny hair on this part. Just do little line work. And for this part, kind of like little scratches. But make sure to fill in all that area. And then go back to your other color and do the same little scratches there. Make sure to cover every single part of the cow right there. Awesome. Now we're gonna be moving on his mouth. With the same tiny brush, clean it. You'll go back to your black and you're just gonna do the bottom lip outline with the black. Like that. Clean your brush. And I'm going back with this brush, and we're grabbing our brown, and we're filling in this area with those two colors. This little goatee. Beautiful. I love it. How are you guys doing? I now that I have my dark black, I kind of want to add a little bit of black on my ear over here. So if you guys want to do that too, with the same dark brown, I'm going to add it a little bit more on that. And I'm going to dip very little, so don't grab a lot. Very little. Add it on that part, just because I want it to be darker. And don't put too much pressure, remember that. And just fade it down so you don't make like the harsh line. Nice. I'm gonna dry my goatee. This brush is clean. My next part is we're going to be working on this area. So dip it on your black. It has to be kind of dark, on the darker side. So follow your hair line right there. And we're going to follow these lines right there. And follow this line work right there, and we're gonna follow these lines right there, follow it right here and right there as well. And you can get creative, you could bring it a little bit lower. It's fur. So you could assume that the cow had very dark color down there. It should be dry, so you could put your palm. Actually, I don't know if you're using a hair dryer, but if it's not dry, just be careful. Awesome. I'm gonna put this on my water, and I'm going back to my dark brown. So back here, and I'm filling in all this area with this brown. You could, when you get closer to the black, try to bring some of that black to the bottom part of the fur. That way you could see like a what's it called, like a color change. It also gives it like dimension on the hair. When you're trying to blend colors, try not to wait too long when you're putting two colors together. So for example, right now that our black is still fresh and it's still on the wet side, it's easier for us to carry the black down. But if the black were to dry, it'll be very hard to get to different tones or shades. You'll just have to apply the black again. Beautiful, beautiful. Awesome. Now let's try this. I know you thought we were done with the snout, but we're not. Sorry. We're just gonna have to create one more shade. But we're kind of close. We just need one more shade and then highlight. I'm using this red brown. So if there's no space, kind of use whatever you have. I'm gonna do it right there. And then I'm gonna add, actually I have red already here, a little bit of red. So, and then a little bit of brown. And I need white. So now I have to clean, oh, I have a clean brush right here. Or not. I'm gonna scoop some white on the side, and with my same brush I'm gonna try to make like a darker shade, and just keep mixing colors until you're happy with your shade. I'm trying to make like a dark pink, so I added white, red, dark brown, and that red brown. I'm pretty happy with this shade. So I'm just gonna tap, tap, tap. It's all dry. And we're just gonna try to make like this shape down at the bottom. If you're happy with how your cow looks, you don't have to add this, but I wanted to add it. And for this area, you're not putting pressure to your canvas. It's very gently brush marks. And I'm kind of like circular motions. And that's it. That's it. I'm gonna clean my brush, but I'm gonna try to fade them a little bit better so it's clean, just kind of wet. And just kind of carry those colors around. Beautiful. Now this is the last step on the cow. We're gonna take your white and we're gonna make some highlights. There's a little highlight there and there's a highlight over here. So you're just gonna use the top line of the nostril to kind of guide you. So it's kind of like an S, and then like an opposite S on this side too. I personally don't like harsh lines like that, so I'm also gonna fade that white. And again, all you're doing is just tap, 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 and it just kind of makes your painting more like believable, you know? Looks beautiful. I'm gonna add a little bit more white on the top, like that, and then just faded in there. Look how gorgeous that looks. I love it. Beautiful. Let's clean our brushes. We're close to an end. We're close to an end. Cleaning my other brush. And we're just gonna be working on some highlights on the hair. And I think that's gonna be the end of our painting. So for the highlights, let's work on the top part and then we'll work ourselves down again. I am gonna grab my round brush for my highlights and let's do some light highlights. So I'm gonna use, actually I like my first tone that I had created originally. So I'm gonna keep that, except that I'm gonna add white. So my white, I'm gonna scoop it with my brush and I added a lot of white. I know I don't recommend blending with your brushes or mixing with your brushes, but we can break the rules today. Actually, these are your brushes, so you guys can do whatever you like. It gave me this nice brown, which I like it. I want it diluted, so I'm gonna dip my brush into my water and then let it drip some water just because I want it to be kind of on the watery side. I don't like paint when it's too thick, just harder to work with. And I like to sharpen my brush by doing this movement. Alrighty, for this, there's no wrong way to do it. You're just doing hair. Try to use the motion of the hair to kind of guide you where you want the highlights. You don't have to put them, you don't have to go crazy with them. Just use some areas, choose some areas where you want the highlights. You could follow what I'm doing, or you could go in your own pace and try to pick where you want those highlights. So I'm gonna choose this area, and then this area, this area, this area. And I'm kind of doing the whoosh. And I'm going to bring some highlights on the And if your line work, you're not so happy with it, because sometimes the paint doesn't dilute as well, this flat brush could help you get you a nice little finish to it. You could either try to blend it or just bring it down. And use the side of the brush. Use the side so it gives you a nice like finish. I am just going back exactly where I added those highlights and just blending them a little bit better. And I'm gonna keep doing them. I like the way this brush is giving me brush work or hair work. I'm gonna add some highlights here. And I'm gonna do one here. I'm gonna do one here. Again, you're just choosing where you want this. And you're just basically bringing the paint down. And I'm gonna do the same on this side. And you're not putting too much pressure on it. This looks beautiful. And I'm gonna go straight from this dark red to give some highlights certain areas. Dirty brush, I'm gonna pick this part right there. You can just put them wherever you like. Again, try to blend them. Try to not just leave like the whole mark in there. And I'm gonna add a little bit up here. You could choose on which areas you want to add them to. Let's give them its highlights, or its money piece, as my wife calls it. Beautiful. We are going to, this is the last step, I promise. Since I'm kind of close to an end, I'm okay getting my white paint dirty. I am going to do some very, very white, not fully white, same dirty brush. And I'm gonna do some areas where I want to do some white brush strokes. So I'm gonna pick right here. I'm gonna pick right here. I'm gonna pick right here. Maybe this one right here. And maybe this one right there. And some over here on the body. Not everywhere. Some here on the front. Maybe here on the ear. And that's it. This is your, actually one more spot here on the little nose. I'm gonna add a little bit of brown. And I'm gonna go back to add some dark brown, just because it looks so dark. Unless you're happy how it looked, you can leave it how it looked. But I wanna add some of that. And I'm gonna add a little bit more brown. And that is it. You have completed your Highland Cow. This is the final piece. Hi friend, you did it. You finished your painting. You made it to the end. This is your masterpiece. I'm so happy you made it this far. Thank you for taking the class with me. Thank you for your time. I appreciate your support. I can't wait to see what you created. Show off your masterpiece. Tag me on Instagram. I want to see what you created. Be proud of your painting. It took us an hour long, but maybe you paused it in between. It could have taken you longer, and that's okay. I hope you enjoyed the process. Maybe a little stress in between some areas, but you did it. Be proud of it. Share it. Hang it in your living room, in your kitchen. Gift it to someone. Be proud of it. again, I'm super thankful and I'm grateful. Hope to see you on the next class. Have a blessed day.